Hello, hello.
Hello, everyone. Welcome, welcome. Happy Thursday. I hope everyone is having a good week so far. Oh, yes, that's right. 3:30 there. And hi, Donnie.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Pacific.
Yep. Well, thank you for joining us in the mid-afternoon.
Yeah.
Very nice of you. Keep forgetting we have people that are all the way out there.
Oops.
So thank you for joining us on another episode of Two Geek Girls. We'll be going on till about 7:30 tonight. I want to thank Lissa very much for organizing this and joining me as well.
So
getting cozy.
Yeah, I'm
both
cold.
of us just finished eating. We are doing very well today.
My room is either an ice box or it's hot as hell. There's no comfort.
There's no in between. And it is humid and hot and out here in Georgia, and it feels like thunderstorms all the time.
Yep. Yep. I'm pretty sure we're supposed to get thunderstorms. I could be wrong.
So I think one thing we asked on Sunday during our last broadcast was as the conventions are kicking up again. I do know we had some cancellations and people are having, we still have some countries that are not allowing people to come into the United States for any of the conventions. But for the conventions that are going on and the people that are able to join them, I know here in Atlanta during Dragon Con, we have, of course, the magic carpet. That is a big tradition. We wanted to know if there were any other traditions out there. So if you guys have any of those, I know I will be at Star Trek Las Vegas next month. There are certain traditions and things that are expected there, not just scheduled ones, but ones that kind of fans do themselves, have organized, and they just kind of maybe spiraled out of control.
And I will be at Gen Con in September, so the month after.
Yes. Definitely eager to hear all of the stuff there. Yes.
Look what got in today.
Oh, yay. Look at that.
It's the official D&D cookbook.
Woo.
Oh my God.
Oh. So you have to do a TikTok compilation of you making something from there.
Oh, I'm already, so for Rupture, I'm writing a blog post. I'm doing something called Geekspiration. So first thing I'm doing is food.
Yes. Graffitiing in the whiteboards. It was kind of a sneeze. Did one of us kind of sneeze? Kind of, I don't know. Once it starts raining here, my allergies go completely haywire.
Yeah,
I have no control over them. Anyone else out there a food geek? I found that I am absolutely here for, and I try to watch all the compilations I can and even get a couple of the cookbooks when a TV show comes out, or it's like there's like a whole Studio Ghibli version of cooking, and people who learned how to cook or started cooking. I started cooking literally because of Howl's Moving Castle is when I really started wanting to cook and like make my own food all of the time. I was living in New York City, and it was time for me to do something more than dorm food on a hot plate. So
that's fair.
Yeah, I know it was that for me. So Studio Ghibli, of course, like Hayao Miyazaki's entire film library. And I noticed that there's always a cookbook. We're watching Downton Abbey. There's a cookbook for Downton Abbey, of course, because the food looks spectacular. Has anyone else had an experience like this? I'm actually really curious because I find it to be a part of geekdom.
I literally have like 8 geek cookbooks in my Amazon wish list in my link tree. If anyone wants to send me any of those, by the way.
Because of course there's people out there that do a far better job than me, and you watch these amazing bakers and cooks and chefs, and they're doing something from Lord of the Rings, or they're doing it's insane how amazing it looks. But I try not to let it get me down and keep trying. Certainly there's some amazing inspired drinks out there. It's nice to have it in your house and not just pay the enormous prices at Universal Studios.
Yeah, exactly. Drinks?
Drink. What was the other one? Oh, the other tradition at Dragon Con, it's just, again, I think he's back. It's the FedEx cardboard cutout.
John! All hail John!
This poor guy.
Okay, so Dragon Con's real tradition is the creation of cults.
Yeah.
There's the carpet cult. There's the cult of John. There's Trashy, the trash can with the googly eyes. That is Dragon Con's real legacy. Cults.
Yep. I agree. That is so, yes, the FedEx guy.
That would I still absolutely adore that.
I keep wondering if that guy needs to like find a way to make, you know, infringement free products for himself.
Like, I love the fact that after they had removed the standee, they had a little memorial.
There was a memorial.
To John.
There was a little memorial, little battery candles and yeah, flowers were laid out. They finally had to remove it. It was covered in more crap than there was more crap than there was cardboard at that point on the poor guy. So yeah, that is definitely something that
let the con-goers have their fun.
Yes.
It's better that they vandalize that than they throw beer bottles off the balcony.
That's just why certain people got to ruin it for everybody.
So, like, I would rather the con-goers get drunk and pray to John.
I'm totally fine with that. I guess my other question, as we think about conventions,
so in response to Donnie, real quick, Garrett is always a guest at Dragon Con. He's actually the one in charge of all the Star Trek stuff at Dragon Con. He's on their board.
Yep. It's what he does now.
Yeah, that's his fun. He had so much fun coming to Dragon Con, and he got tired of them having to wait years and years to ask him to come. And so when they got rid of the Star Trek director, he's like, hey, I've been asking for years, please.
Yep. Yeah, no, he's the organizer. So whenever something comes up, he's the one that and he's really good at it. So
yeah, he is.
Perfect. Worked out great. And everyone loves him. He's just the nicest guy, honestly.
Yep.
He really is. And
I've heard nothing but praise for him in the position.
I guess my other convention question was going to be, what's the weirdest thing you've had to bring to a convention? Or if you haven't done a convention, what's the weirdest thing you would bring with you? And sometimes this could be something practical, because I was just going through the list, and we were staying in Vegas for a while. I think it's going to be in total almost a week that we're going to be. So looking at things we had to bring to the hotel actually included things like the microwave and our little Keurig machine, and making sure they had they were going to have a fridge in there with us. Cooler stuff like that. So this could be practical items, or it could be something that you just have to have at the convention with you that is just maybe a little bit outlandish, but you have to have it with you. So yeah, I want to know what you guys have thought about that. For a lot of us, it's a learning experience. Like every convention, you realize there's something you should have done. I have this purse flask now that I ordered, and I actually ordered it like a year. So it looks like a little cat. It looks like a little cat purse, but it turns out it's a flask. So stylish little things like that. Because Dragon Con, it's BYOB or whatever you want to drink all the time. People just set up,
including parking lot karaoke with alcohol.
There's no rules in downtown Atlanta during Dragon Con.
The police don't even give a shit at that point. They're like, you're close enough to the hotels. Are you disturbed? Are you walking down in the middle of the road? No? All right, go about your day.
Okay. Yeah. I always get the impression that the police officers and anybody down there they're a little bit dazed by it at a certain point. It's like you got to pick and choose your battles, man.
I feel like that is probably part of APD's hazing ritual. Put the new kids out during Dragon Con around the hotels. and see how like creeped out or whatever they get. Like, let's see their reaction.
Well, I did a Dragon Con basically in pasties and a thong one year when I did the body paint, and I looked up the law because I, wanted to make sure I wasn't going to get arrested in my cat costume, and it was cheetah body paint, so it had to be.
I remember
it had to
seeing
be body
pictures
paint.
of it.
Yeah. For anyone that was maybe here. So I looked up the laws and I made sure that what I was wearing was completely legal. There's actually not much that you have to wear to not be considered nude. But I do remember a couple of police officers first thinking it was a bodysuit and then realizing that I was painted. And then I swear one of them was that they were like, what? Are we? They seem to think about it for a second. Like, is she allowed to do that? But yeah, and part of it too is like because you couldn't really tell what I was or wasn't wearing. So always good to check the laws first. And I do believe that they put out certain not like a newsletter, but you can go to like the police department's website and they'll have like information that just in case you wanted to know any questions you might have, because it just turns into like Mardi Gras Las Vegas, the craziest Halloween party you've ever seen, and
it pretty much is.
Yeah, I mean, for sure.
Let's be honest, it's one of those things. Again, parking lot karaoke with alcohol, and it wasn't an official event. Someone just straight up brought a full like speaker system. Multiple microphones, karaoke machine, the whole 9 yards.
Yep.
And they were just like giving beers out to everyone because, you're here to party. I'm here to party.
Yes. And that this is as long as everybody's over 21. Basically, they're just mini bars set up in every single thing. And so last year,
shots in the hotels. They didn't even card me for
people
the
just hand stuff out. People just have, you want to try this or look what I've made or that little. That's it. People just have like bars that they carry around with them.
They're like, hey, it's $1 for the Jello shot, and I'm like, deal.
Here,
take my money.
Here, take my money. All set. Yeah, people set up an entire hotel room as their bar for like that floor for their group of friends, and so there's just a jar out for people to put money in to contribute, or they can bring their own liquor in and do that as a contribution if the liquor doesn't suck. It was a big year, so I keep wanting to say last year, but the last year of the con was the year Letterkenny. Letterkenny took off. So you had entire groups cosplay. If you don't know Letterkenny, it's a brilliant rags to riches story for this actor who started out doing YouTube shorts and now he has his own show. It's in Canada, but it airs on Hulu here in the United States. It's on Crave TV in Canada, and it's a whole group of just they sit around in lawn chairs and they drink beer. So you would see people in the entire cosplay in the entire group doing that and then handing out puppers to people. It was pretty cool. So you never know. You never know what's going on. So let's dive right in before I lose y'all. I did read an interesting story about what James Gunn said. Warner Brothers only asked one thing of him for the Suicide Squad movie. They gave him complete free reign in everything else. There was only one thing they wanted.
Okay.
Margot Robbie.
Oh, yeah.
That was it. Other than that, he was allowed to use any character he wanted. He was allowed to anything he wanted, any storyline he wanted. Not a problem. We want Margot Robbie to come back, and Harley Quinn has to be in it. It has to be that. So I'm like,
it's Harley.
Yeah, I could see that as the one to beat.
Harley's their cash cow these days.
Yeah, I hope. Yeah. Yeah, and whatever she negotiates for, she can have.
Yes, I'm actually cold for once because the air conditioner is doing its job in my room for once. This never happens.
Lisa and I have both seen the finale to, well, it's the season finale to Loki because, dun, 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 spoiler, there will be a second season of Loki. Yes, because Tom Hiddleston, who has made it clear that he is happy to play Loki for the rest of his life, and we would be
I'm
happy
okay with this.
to share that with him. I will be happy to share that with him.
I'm totally fine with him doing this. Like, as long as Marvel wants him, I want him there.
I mean, yeah, who else?
So, potential spoilers ahead.
Spoilers. So if you haven't seen the end of Loki, it's this for all of us who are MCU fans. The end of this season was the introduction to the multiverse of madness, clearly.
Yep.
It did turn out to be spoiler at the end of time, Kang the Conqueror. Which we knew.
They never said his name, but he does come out and say the Conqueror, and this actor has been confirmed as Kang the Conqueror.
As Kang the Conqueror, yes. So
yeah,
we did not know how Kang the Conqueror was going to be introduced, but I don't want to say a couple months ago at this point, this particular actor had been announced.
I want to say it was back in like November or something like that.
Was it that far back? Okay.
Which
would be very smart on their part. That would be very smart. Like really doing it a good distance away from the premiere of Loki was a good idea, because all of us were wondering who's going to be at the end of time, that there's various storylines for that in the comic books, and here it was, Kang the Conqueror. So in defeating the one who remains, thank you, Miss Minutes, creepy Tara Strong. Yeah. And
I came across her TikTok doing the Miss Minutes voice, and I was like,
it's creepy. We're never going to hear that accent the same way again, ever. Creepiest thing ever. But I love that so much of the cast is going to come back. I love that there's going to be a season 2. This was the set. Every one of the shows has been with a very specific purpose. So WandaVision, the creation and introduction of Scarlet Witch. For Falcon and the Winter Soldier, it was the creation of the new Captain America and the revelations of certain double agents, which bad, but also from the comic book storyline. So that's okay. Not that surprising, but yeah. And then with Loki, here we go into the next phase of Marvel. I do not know the dates that they have announced for season 2 of Loki. Basically, the importance of the dates of season 2 of Loki would tell us where in the MCU his next story would take place. But yes, so there you go. It was Kang the Conqueror holding it all together in his mind, and now it's Kang the Conqueror again. Yeah.
Was Thanos the one that was really inevitable, or is it Kang?
Or is it Kang? Well, you got to escalate. If you're going to keep going with it, you've got to escalate the idea of somebody, being capable of controlling time and space, which would, actually go past what Thanos did. This more in-depth introduction of Kang the Conqueror is a flesh and blood man who has control over celestial beings.
Yeah.
Because of his knowledge. So there's your escalation. So we understand
literal knowledge is power in this situation.
Right.
I mean, Kang the Conqueror is a fucking physicist in the comics.
Right.
So it makes sense.
Yes. No. It was one or the other at this point. So now, and then he's already reset time again, where he's reset the TVA. He's already And the only, of course, now we have Loki as kind of the one person who is outside of what
All
Kang
of
has
this,
done
who
and aware
knows
of.
what's going on.
Yeah.
And he curious how that's going to play out.
I mean, yeah. So my guess is that Kang is now using so with all of the different timelines, how does the TVA or the function of the TVA fit into timelines that are at war?
Well, the way I was imagining it, now this is total speculation, is that they'll either be there to pick up the pieces after these multiverses go head to head, or they're going to actively conquer these timelines, and the TVA is going to be this paramilitary group.
Yeah.
And when they conquer that timeline, if it's not part of what Kang decided was the sacred timeline, it gets deleted.
Yeah. So they could still do. So there you go. How we're heading into is Multiverse of Madness the next film that the MCU is releasing?
That's a very good question that we can find out. So what is the next MCU movie? It's actually Shang-Chi and the Legend of Ten Rings.
That's right. Yep.
That comes out on the 3rd.
August 3rd?
September
3rd, sorry. Yeah, that's right. Alex's birthday.
Yeah. And then the one after that is
Eternal. Multiverse.
Oh wait, yeah. No, it is Eternals. I'm sorry. It's just bolded for some reason on this list.
Okay.
So Eternals is next on November 5th. Spider-Man: No Way From Home on December 17th. And Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness is March 25th of next year.
Okay. Yeah.
Let's see, what else do we got? Thor: Love and Thunder comes out on May 6th next year. Tentatively, Black Panther Wakanda Forever is July 8th of next year. Given some of the setbacks that they've faced, that may or may not be the case.
Yeah, they did cast a Black Panther.
The Marvels is on November 11th next year, which is my brother's birthday. Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania, February 17th, 2023. And Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 is May 5th, 2023. And then it says Fantastic Four to be determined.
Yeah. Yeah. That's
as long as it isn't fan four stick again, I think we're gonna be happy.
I think we're good. I think we're gonna be okay with that.
I'm sure they're going to toe the line between fan four stick and the original Fox Fantastic Four.
Yes.
Because let's be honest, even though they were horrible in their own way, the original ones that Fox made were pretty fun. They're not the most amazing thing in the world, but if you go in it going, yes, I'm going to have fun, you'll probably enjoy yourself.
We can hope. Like it's we have not given up hope. We have not given up hope.
Yeah. I really hope that they do X-Men justice. And that's all I'm going to say on that.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, I'm going to just go into a rant.
And that's okay. That's okay.
You know how I feel about Apocalypse.
You're not alone. Not even a little bit. Let's see. We've got the, for those of us who, how do I intro this? So the Disney Plus series, several people, they're really trying to let us know that there's confidence in the Percy Jackson Disney Plus series. People doing interviews about like, hey, I love the writing. I do this. We're really excited for this. I don't know. I know we had some Percy Jackson fans in the crowd. So that's one I'm hoping, fingers crossed, will be good. A good series.
Yeah.
That would be great.
Hello,
see.
John.
Hello. Then we've got The Batman over on the DC side. We've got The Batman.
That's the one with Robert Pattinson and Zoe Kravitz.
Colin Farrell as the Penguin, unrecognizable as the Penguin. We can pop up a picture of him. It's like yeah.
Let's see. Colin Farrell Penguin.
Yeah.
Not height. Excuse me, wrong button. Oh, Jesus.
I was trying to think who he actually made me think. In the trailer that they were showing, of course, a lot of people speculating this is going to be the Long Halloween or based on that. Yeah, there he is. It looks like, looks okay, so kind of a Richard Kind thing going on.
And then here's another with him next to Robert Pattinson.
Yeah, so we've had assassination scenes shown in the trailers. We've had a funeral scene shown in the trailers. We've had Catwoman, Bruce Wayne, of course, Penguin.
That's from
and this is a Riddler storyline. The internet has already solved the Riddler's first riddle.
Have they really?
Yeah, it's. I think it's actually an old riddle. What happens to a liar after he dies? He lies still.
Womp womp.
Womp womp. Yeah, so give me those kind of riddles. But
I kind of wish with Robert Pattinson's hair that they had made it a little bit shorter.
Yeah, definitely going for a specific look.
I'm not a huge fan of that look on him.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Like, I get they're trying to go for a certain vibe, but it's not really the most flattering on him.
No, but it's very different, as he's proven in all of his films since Twilight. He's moving as far away from that as possible.
Which is fine. I don't even remotely blame him.
Yep.
But like, it's fucking Bruce Wayne. Bruce Wayne has like, the shorter spiky-ish hair. Like, this man in the 90s was obsessed with gel. Okay, he could have probably put the Backstreet Boys and NSYNC to shame. And I'm right.
Yeah. For sure.
The slicked back hair is like Bruce Wayne's thing. Whether that's slicked to the side with gel or otherwise.
Yes. It is certainly interesting. Like, it's a very specific look they're going for the whole movie. Speaking of specific looks, we have Titans season 2 announced.
Yes.
Different play on. Maybe if you've seen Titans, how do you guys feel about it?
I have not seen Titans yet. I have not had the chance to. That is on HBO Max, though, right?
Yes. DC
I
is firmly planted on HBO. Yep.
Then I've got that on not my laptop, my Xbox. So should be good there.
Trip 2. Yes, John. Cannot wait till August. Agreed. Let's see.
Titans is also on Vudu, apparently.
Okay. Yeah, the season 1 is available to watch right now.
Yep.
Yeah, the trailer does look good. I mean, I've always enjoyed the casting of it. I don't know how I always felt about the feel of the show. Really, it really felt like they were trying to just hammer home a few points a little too much. And as some people say, it's like a little too much Batman. Just let it be about the Titans.
Mm-hmm.
We understand the daddy issues. We got it. It's fine. You
Yeah.
don't need to bring it up in every, and any character that spends
Exactly.
the whole time like feeling sorry for themselves, you really don't have much sympathy for it. That's just bad writing and bad character development. So
Yep.
there were a few times where that went a little too far for me. Hopefully
Yeah.
they've ironed out some of those bugs for season 2. There you go. I did see that there is now a way to build your own Captain America shield full size out of Legos now, if you'd like.
I'm not surprised by this.
Yeah. So
I mean, don't they have Captain America Lego statues already somewhere?
like the full
like the
thing.
full-
So the person who like bricker builds and them who do it are now showing you how you can
Do it
and to the
yourself.
point where it's solid enough that you can actually hold it and do stuff with it, which is cool. That's fun.
Super glue is your friend.
Yeah.
Let's just be honest.
What? Yes. Nobody can resist the shield. Nobody can resist putting it on or anything like that. Let's
Can confirm. I've maybe picked up Alex Captain America shield a couple times.
Yep. It is hard to get away from. And on a personal note, we did drop our little promotional video for the Jewish Space Laser Corps.
Yes. I'm
night.
thinking about that.
So, I mean, our influence obviously was the Saturday Night Live style skits. They are some huge earrings. Yes, they are.
And boop.
Yep.
There you go.
Basically highlighting the ridiculousness of certain theories that certain people have put out there, and the what if scenario. But of course, the inside joke while we were going through the skit of it was, this is kind of like the Seinfeld show where it's about nothing, and so it's people on the Jewish space laser or working for the Jewish space laser that have nothing to do because it doesn't exist, because it wouldn't have anything
totally doesn't exist
because it's ridiculous. Yes, and that's the whole point, is the ridiculousness of it. I do want to emphasize that as somebody who was raised Jewish, and my mother is Jewish, my family is Jewish, the whole point of it is you kind of have to laugh about certain things or else you'll cry. At no point have we ever tried to downplay the seriousness of what happens when dialogue becomes normalized in society, but you do have to laugh about some things. You do. And so there was a lot of consulting, and Alec kind of doesn't give himself enough credit for this, because sometimes he does sound like a New York elitist, because he's a 60-year-old white guy raised in New York.
I am a New York elitist.
See, so he completely admits it. So he does come off he's such a Gentile. I can't even.
New York's the best.
Yeah. See, yeah. Alec doesn't get out much. We have expanded his horizons much in the last 5 years.
Wow. Alec.
Yeah, there are times I want to come back. I'm like, oh God, you just so remind me of my 1980s childhood. Yeah, when I lived in Jersey, and then yeah. So, but Alec doesn't give himself enough credit. He reached out to so many people who fortunately understand him very well. And he, from a very good place, was asking a lot of questions, and he got a lot of good advice. And it's just this opportunity to, again, we've got to make ourselves laugh or else we're going to cry. And in the ridiculousness that we have experienced in the last several years in this country, it's just, yeah. Okay. Ow. Ugh.
Diddy.
No. Mama.
Oh, well. I'm sorry. I'm used to Itty being the one
nuts.
responsible.
She is. What? Ah. She's allergic to puppies. So with the puppies in the house, she's a little afraid.
What?
Yeah. So there you go. That's one other thing that we announced. We do have tentative outlines and script pieces for a pilot. If it goes as far as that, it's just something we're playing very much by ear, but we're excited about it because again, it was just making us crack up all day, and so many wonderful things that wonderful friends of ours had to say. It's been a really wonderful experience. So there you go. You want to check that out a little bit later, and if you have any questions, of
until
course.
you pet sit Itty Bitty, I don't want to see that she's sweetly innocent. Come get your child.
Itty is one of those dogs that
she's a sweetheart.
She absolutely understands everything that you're saying. She is way too smart for her own good, and Alec has never had a puppy. Like he has had her since she was puppy, and he's just exhausted.
Damn.
It's like the puppy. I told you, puppy. We had we had.
Oh, that's Lissa.
Yeah,
Lissa, I have
Hello.
a question for you.
Yes.
I have a question for you.
What is the question?
So we can either give the foster puppies back to the foster facility to Karen Kelly when we leave for Vegas, or you can take care of them.
I mean,
It's totally up to you. I told Karen we couldn't keep them after until when we left for Vegas. But listen, if I were you, I'd keep those puppies. They're not best. They are the best. They're better than Malinois. Because there's only 3 of them. So
only 3.
It's totally manageable. Now, I don't know how big they're going to be by the time it rolls around. Because
exactly.
But they're
all going to be
fluffy.
They're going to be bigger than any by then.
You think they'll be bigger than Italy?
Yes, they're going to be bigger than any by then.
Yes.
Well, just think about it. There's no pressure, no rush.
If they're what we were thinking the other day, they look like they're Newfie mixes.
Yes.
Yeah,
they do.
She said Burmese Mountain Dog, maybe.
Yeah,
German
Burmese
Shepherd. I think it's those 3 are the
top contenders.
Yeah.
2 of them look the same. Fergie and Frankie look the same, and then Freddie looks very shepherd.
Fergie has Bernese Mountain Dog in her, I think. But anyway, yes, they're going to be, yeah.
So anyway, let's think about it. All right, bye.
Bye.
Thank God we don't have any land yet. We would have 80 dogs. See? Yeah.
Yep.
That.
Yeah, you guys would. You definitely would.
No chance. Yeah. So I don't know where Itty Bitty is, but yeah, she's a whole nother level of dog because too smart. She figured out her own games. She has been so determined for me to throw. She's put her tennis ball in the pocket of my clothes in an effort to get me to keep playing fetch with her.
That's hilarious.
Yes. Yeah. She's just one of those dogs. And it happens. Make sure I can clear my screen. There we go. Yay. So, and everyone who did join us last night for joined Danielle, the amazing lead actress of it. She's the leader of the Jewish Space Laser Corps. And Alec last night. Thank you for that. Thank you very much. Oh, let's see. Well, now that Loki's over, now what do we watch?
That's a damn good question. There's a lot of things that are on my list.
Yeah.
But I just haven't gotten around to yet.
There's a lot. As Alec and I, we still have certain series we're catching up on. You know what we realized? We were going to watch it on the 4th of July. We didn't watch Hamilton. We were going to watch 1776, which we watch every year on the 4th of July because it airs all day. It's kind of like a Christmas story for the 4th of July. And then we were going to watch Hamilton. And we didn't. Ugh. So we have those things to catch up on.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Oh, so I put in a lot of work today. I'm gonna share my screen.
Okay. Ooh. All right.
Now that just chatting, obviously the camera's not gonna be there at the moment because my camera's being used by StreamYards. And then the transition is a custom stinger. Infinite loop right now.
Okay.
And the ending screen.
Very cool. The kitty.
Yes, that is my Capamon. Its name is Snowball.
Snowball. Oh, Snowball.
And everyone in my streams loves Snowball.
We love Snowball. Isn't that
so I had to bring Snowball back because my viewers stan Snowball.
So we do have in the comment section, we have somebody who was rather disappointed with the Loki finale.
Olive. Thought Loki was building up to something dynamic and they basically just busted everything up for a reset. Okay, so there are going to be 2 seasons though.
There are going to be 2 seasons.
So basically think of this as like a midway finale. Because like Loki, like these Marvel series are really mini series.
Yeah.
They're not a full series.
Right. They're like in some cases either a 6-hour movie or something. Yeah.
Again, it's a mini series.
Mm-hmm.
So think of it as like if you remember from the 80s, that mini series. Think of how that was broken into 2 parts. Basically that.
Yeah. So might help if you don't consider it the end yet, but obviously not everything is going to be for everybody. Yeah. I think I was looking at the series as how it fits in with the whole big picture and what they had to. And so what was really dynamic was more like the pilot episode and the second episode were more dynamic for me because it's about, Loki given an opportunity to grow into apparently this hero that we're going to need because of everything that's happened. He's the one person that now kind of remembers everything that's happened and has to fix it.
Yep. Yes, so, John, you are correct. Loki is the lead into Doctor Strange 2, the Multiverse of Madness.
Yeah. Yeah. As far as the cinematic lead into, that'll probably be the Spider-Man movie, No Way Home, which makes sense. WandaVision was showing us how a Nexus beings. We've been introduced to Nexus events, Nexus beings, that the Infinity Stones, even though they seem to be moot to people who handle multiversal issues, they have infused certain people or helped people find the powers that we're going to need. Again, that introduction to the Celestial Beings, the Eternals movie coming out before Multiverse of Madness, all of this helping us kind of understand, because everything's about escalation. So if this was our introduction to finding out how much of a bad Kang the Conqueror can be, which he obviously can be, all of that.
Well, and I get that. But you have to think like the big picture with the MCU. We literally have not had anything that's even remotely comparable to what the MCU is doing, like ever. And the history of cinematics. This is all new territory in regards to how they're going about this.
Yeah. Now, and a huge part of what I think makes it entertaining for me is I love the performances. I love the actors that they cast. Yep. I was enjoying the character growth. It is.
I'm sorry, I still want an alligator Loki shirt.
A Loki. Yeah, I mean, having Richard E. Grant and everything like that. So there are certain things that I think for me, I was holding on to. But just like with WandaVision, just like with Falcon and the Winter Soldier, just like with any of the movies, everybody is going to have stuff that really interests them and stuff that doesn't. We all have our own reasons for watching it. So we completely understand. These are why we're fans of it. I think just our expectations, but there is something to be said for the fact that everything old is new again. It's always a new spin on an old trope, so to speak. And that's, of course, the reset button, so to speak. And yeah, of course.
Yep.
Yeah.
Let's see. Suddenly envisioning Alex's version of Trouble with Tribbles, but him buried in puppies instead.
We have videos somewhere of him under a pile of 13 puppy Malinois somewhere. That is true.
That's wonderful.
Yeah. I mean, all those videos, people are like, where do you see yourself in retirement? And it's basically somebody under a puppy pile. I'm like, yeah, pretty much.
Totally psyched for Loki and Sylvie teaming up on new challenges. Cosmic resets are just so overdone lately.
I mean, yes, but it was the interesting part is does this feel like a cosmic reset, or does this feel like kind of opening the dam?
Only the TVA was reset, though.
Yeah.
Because, as they were saying, all of the timelines were diverging. Right. So, it's literally just the TVA that got a reset. Because, there's all these different timelines that are emerging and producing even more, hi Esri, even more variants and the like. So it's less of a reset and more of a mind wipe for this one very specific group.
Yeah. Yeah, like all of the hard work, all the revelations just got flushed down the toilet.
Yep.
Except for Loki.
Yep.
And I mean, again, it's this escalation after you've had a storyline where somebody, wiped out half of the entire population. And then we were able to go back and bring them back.
Okay, Olive. So here's my argument against that. Because we were starting to care about these characters, that's what makes this even more tragic.
Yeah.
I mean, I can see where you're coming from with that, but at the same time, there's also the point of view of, I started to fall in love with this character, and what would happen if one person remembers the relationship, but the other one doesn't?
And for entertainment purposes, because no story is entirely original, you're just looking at new original ways to envelop the audience in an old storyline or a new way to tell the same story, which I know kind of doesn't make sense, but finding a way to use the audience's expectations, or basically you got to find a way to make things feel new again.
Yeah.
And a great thing that the MCU has done that DC has not done, DC films have not done, is we're invested in the characters. We are invested in what's happening to them. They have given themselves so much time. They have done such a great job with the casting, with plot development, with character development, that when something happens, even if looking back, we could have totally seen it coming, we're invested because of who's involved.
Yes.
So I think that's part of it. And I think to your point, I think they will go further. I think they are going to go further.
Well, that's why Loki is getting a season 2.
Yeah, he's going to get a season 2. I think this is what,
Ow. That is.
This was more about Loki becoming the type of person who could actually do something about this.
Yeah, because the difference here between the Loki that we've grown to know And this Loki he didn't have Thor the Dark Worlds events to be his turning point towards anti-heroism.
Yeah.
He basically had to start from square one because this is Battle of New York Loki that had to go through an entire journey of the self. Hi, Popper! Oh, look at your face!
This is Frankie.
Hi, Frankie.
This is Frankie. Yeah, I mean, DC is attempting to do it, but I think a lot of us can agree that they jumped into things like Batman versus Superman and Justice League without the development for us to be really invested in caring about these characters as much as we wanted to.
Yep, exactly. One of the three stooges of puppies. That is correct, Jim.
Yeah, no matter how big these dogs get, just as we did with the Malinois, when you socialize them like this, they just stay lap dogs for the rest of their life.
Yep,
that's all they want. And it was one of the when we kept in touch with the people who adopted the Malinois, they got them as puppies at about 10 weeks old. Now we've got some that are like 80 pounds.
Yep.
Give or take. And everyone's like, anyone else have an 80-pound lap dog? The big scary Malinois. No.
I had 80-pound lap dogs.
Yes.
Our German wire hairs. The smallest of the two was 65 pounds, but the biggest of the two was 95 pounds. Both of them thought they were lap dogs. I hate to break it to them, but they were not.
But they want to be.
They did.
But they
and it was funny because they had mohawks too.
So Frankie is the one that looks like the most like a Newfie, like all Newfie.
Yeah.
Yeah. The little girl has the baby blue eye. Her right eye is like violet blue. And then she has her brown eye and left. And she's the one that has like the Bernese Mountain Dog coloring, like a lot, and a little white tip on her tail and stuff. And then the other one looks like a German Shepherd mix, just has brown and different type of coat. But this little guy has an umbilical hernia, so we try to be a little careful with him. But that should get taken care of when he gets fixed. Yep. Yeah, and that's all he does all day.
As long as it's not a danger to him in the meantime, like there's no reason to put him under anesthesia twice at that age.
Nope. And it's right there when they do the surgery to fix him. So.
Yep.
Yeah, but I literally have to feel his stomach every once in a while and pump the stuff back in. It's a weird feeling. There's your intestines. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, it happens a lot. Hi.
Hi, baby.
Yeah.
My cats. I'm. Are you in or are you out, child? Stop opening the door. No, she's gonna sit.
It's not a Two Geek Girl show. Yeah.
She's gonna sit right in the door.
Yes.
This is her solution.
Yep. It's not a Two Geek Girl show unless there's interruption from the pets.
Yep. Exactly. That's how this works.
That's how this works. Literally feels like a teddy bear in my hands. Literally feels like a bear cub.
I love it.
The bear cub.
I love it.
Yes. I know. Somebody has already done the cosplay. There are already pictures
on a jet ski
of so it's somebody dressed up like Mobius. And then somebody dressed up as Loki on the back and on a jet ski.
Oh my gosh. So that reminds me, I have to find the art and send it to you. But what someone did was they took the idea of the jet ski, like Mobius on a jet ski, And they put alligator Loki.
Loki. Yes, I saw that.
Loki.
And it's the season finale has leaked. it's a Loki on a jet ski.
Wait, did I send you that TikTok?
Probably.
I might have. I know I sent you one of those Loki TikToks.
Yeah, it would be great. Yes. Yes, we need a jet ski payoff for the love of everything.
I swear to God, if Mobius does not get his jet ski at the end,
we're gonna have a problem.
Like, God damn it, Owen Wilson is too wholesome of a person for his character to not get his fucking jet ski.
He's doing a great job in the role. I love it. We have not seen the last of Renslayer. Now that was another big clue. Renslayer and King the Conqueror are always linked together.
They're partners.
They are partners
in a romantic sense.
So
off and on.
Yeah. So let's see how. Oh yeah, you're the one with the double do clause too.
Oh.
Yeah, double do clause. Useless little clause. That's okay. Yeah. So Renslayer was another big clue. No idea what happened to her yet. She disappeared. And yeah. But
she probably went to go get this other King the Conqueror that's now in control of the TVA. Actually, is my speculation here.
That would be helpful if it was, somebody on the same page. But it depends on what they're going to do with Renslayer. She was given
that specific entry by Miss Minute.
Yeah.
So I think King the Conqueror gave her a very specific thing, like, hey, here's these instructions.
Gave Miss Minutes.
Yeah.
And I still want to know what Miss Minutes was. Like, is Miss Minutes just
I think she's just a very, very well done AI, honestly.
Well, we know what happens with AIs in this universe. That never goes well. That never goes well. Yeah.
Are we going to get a rogue Miss Minutes? Is this a variant that we will see?
Right?
We need more Miss Minutes.
Hot, huh?
Creepy Miss Minutes.
Yes. Yeah, no, for sure. Well, you need a bath. You need a bath.
Well, it is 7:29. You said you have to head out here soon.
It is time for me to get ready for work. Yes, we've geeked out plenty. Again, I still want to know what you guys, what cons you guys are going to, what traditions, what's the craziest thing you're going to take with you, or the most practical thing you want everyone to know that they always have to take with them to conventions. Lissa, tell us what else. What?
Deodorant.
Oh, for the love of everything. Well, the good news is there's always somebody walking around with a whole bag of deodorants for whoever needs it. That's good.
That's true.
But adulting tends to go out the window every once in a while during these conventions. For good or for bad, it happens. Please keep me apprised. And then Lissa, tell people what you've got coming up this weekend.
So tomorrow, since I have my OBS set up, I'm going to try and do a Twitch stream in the middle of the day. And then in the evening, I have Stormcrest at 7 p.m. EST on our new home, twitch.tv/the Stormcrest. And then Saturday, I'm just playing D&D and then producing Starfleet Tactical. Let's see, Monday. Now this live stream / podcast hasn't gotten on stream yet. We're still doing another 1 or 2 sessions before everything starts, but that will be on twitch.tv/nerdworksmedia. And on every Tuesday, I play my tiefling bard, Sarlai's Melodia. And I realized earlier this morning that I made her even more of the stereotypical bard because the person I'm having her romances are dragonborn.
You're just gonna have to accept this. You're just gonna have to accept the extreme here. It's
It wasn't on
okay.
purpose.
I know.
I picked him because he was the character that when she went down the first time, picked her up off the battlefield, got her to safety, and gave her a health potion.
Okay.
And so she flirted with him when she woke up. And it's kind of just gone uphill from there in the best possible way.
There you go.
Yeah. But yeah, so you can find that all there. Here is my link tree to find every single crazy ass thing I'm in. And I also am now the PR director for Rupture RPG. And our Kickstarter starts off in September. We are going to try and stream a one-shot here soon on my channel. You can also go to Druidlox's Twitch channel and follow him. They periodically do Rupture campaign stuff. And in September, to also kind of showcase our game, we are going to have my friend Radio Free Will showcase it on his... It was one-shot firing range, but it has now been reworked because one-shots every week were getting exhausting for him. So it is now long-shot firing range, and Rupture will be played every Monday in the month of September.
Yay.
To also hype people up for Rupture, for our Kickstarter.
Ta-da. Thank you. See, so keep in touch, and then her link tree is down in the comments. I'm gonna check that out, and so at Geek Girl Lissa everywhere. Thank you, Lissa, so much for everything tonight.
Folks.
Thank you, everyone, for joining us, and we will see you next Thursday with some new news.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Bye, guys.
Live long and prosper.
Live long and prosper.